As an author, the first few letters of that word are actually the first few letters of authority. So when you become an author and you put what you know on pages of a book, whether it be one chapter in a book or whether it be a book of your own, you become an authority on your topic, whatever your topic is, whatever your business is.
Entrepreneurs, we are back with a familiar face. She's been on all the shows probably at least once or twice, besides this one, I think. So we're bringing her onto this world. We got a big announcement, Teresa and I, here on that entrepreneur show. Teresa, it's great to see your face. Thanks for stopping by.
Vincent, it's always great to see you. You look great. You look like you had a great holiday season. New Year's being good to you. So I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, it's a busy writing world, and part of that writing world, that writing experience came my seventh book and my second book completed with Teresa. All of my co-author opportunities have come through Teresa, so I'm very grateful for that. And this one, I was actually the forward. I'm the first story in there. Yeah, please hold it up, Teresa. Tell us about this book.
So A Daily Gift of Hope is the second book in the Daily Gift book series. The first one is A Daily Gift of Gratitude. And Vincent, you wrote one in the gratitude book. And then you have such a profound story of hope for people that when it came time for me to select a person to do the forward for us, I immediately went to you. I had one other person in mind as well, but the good Lord took her home. She ended a struggle with cancer, and um, so she's mentioned in the book. I dedicated the book to her and to a couple of other people who are very near and dear to me. But when it comes to telling a story about hope, you, my friend, have a great one. And your shirt says it all. Vincent Lanzi, Left for Dead. And now you have so much going on in your world that's bringing so much help and so much hope to people in your world that you were the first person that came to my mind.
Well, I always appreciate the warm words. And yeah, I started to legitimize myself, I guess you can say, right? The t-shirts, the polos with the name and the branding. That's just, I had I did a great day live interview sometime at the end of last year, and I'm getting prepped, and someone's like, "Yeah, you got your polo, you got everything ready." I'm like, I actually don't have anything new that I can wear. So from that point, I took a lesson learned. Everyone out there viewing or listening on, have some kind of apparel, help legitimize yourself. But since we're on the topic of writing, but this is an entrepreneur show, Teresa, what can a book do for an entrepreneur? There are a lot of benefits, of course, to having a book, specifically in entrepreneurship. What are some of the value adds that you see from writing?
So first of all, as an author, the first few letters of that word are actually the first few letters of authority. So when you become an author and you put what you know on pages of a book, whether it be one chapter in a book or whether it be a book of your own, you become an authority on your topic, whatever your topic is, whatever your business is. And people tend to go with people who are, entrepreneurs who are really promoting themselves in such a way, not necessarily promoting themselves, but promoting their information, their education, and the way that they can be of a help to someone else. So as an entrepreneur, I think it's a vital ingredient for your plan for the year. Let's say, since we're at the beginning of the year, that you get something out there, whether it be under your own name or whether it be as an author in a compilation book, as we've just been discussing.
And there's no right or wrong. Some people, they want to do the solo book. Some love going down the co-author route. It may seem obvious by name co-author, but what exactly does putting together a co-author book look like? Excuse me. The co-author, of course, is more than one person contributing to the book in a writing capacity, but producing this book, because she has her own company, she's got a publishing company. She also does her writing, of course, her coaching. But walk us through this process of, from A to Z.
And so when I put a compilation book together, I look for people who are wanting to, as I say, dip their toe into this lake of writing and bringing some attention to themselves as an author, as an entrepreneur, as someone who has something to say about what it is that they have been gifted to do. So I believe that we all have a gift, a talent that we go to in order to be able to make a good life for ourselves. And some of it gets revealed before something devastating happens, and some of it gets revealed afterwards, as you well know.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I do is that's really good about being a contributing author to one of these books is you're with other people who have similar desires in order to be able to get out into the world through the written word. So you get put next to people whose names may be known. There are some celebrity authors in some of the books that I've written before, I've put together before, and it levels you up by being with a group of people who are also sharing themselves with the world that way. So that's
And
one of the many reasons to think about contributing to a book.
And what you just mentioned is you're creating this new community, this new network where, of course, we're going to try to help each other, everybody in that network, as you get a chance to meet. One of the ways we extend that networking, and we will be next week, well, as this is recording, I should say at least, is I'm going to be going on her show. All entrepreneurs out there, I always challenge you to become a podcast guest, not just a podcast host, which I do my
Mhm.
coaching on. I'm not preaching that. Right now, I'm preaching guesting, which can be free. There can be an appearance fee, but the value in that is you're putting yourself in front of a whole brand new audience.
Exactly.
People in your circle, they know what you do, they support you or they don't. Nothing personal. You're either their target customer or they're not. Now you go in front of a new audience, especially in a targeted market because you're going on a show with your expertise. You never know if you'll get a new client, a new connection, a new friend, or a new project will come about. Teresa and I were a product of networking. Of course, was it Joe, right? Shout out to Joe
Yeah.
up in
Shout
New
out
York.
to Joe.
If you need accounting help up in New York, Joe DiChiara is the entrepreneur with the CPA. I'll show him some love there. But Teresa, you've been on this entrepreneurial journey for some time in many different facets. You've grown into something that you truly have a passion for. What is
Mhm.
some advice you can lay to entrepreneurs viewing or listening on today who are just getting started? But as you know, there's a lot of trial and error in the beginning to help them avoid some of those same pitfalls that we had.
Right. So as far as being able to start putting yourself out there in writing and whatnot, start keeping when thoughts come into your mind, start keeping like a journal. I started writing with a gratitude journal, and that really helped me to get out of my head into my heart, really figure things out for myself. And so, God gifted me with a lot of things, Vincent. I'm a potter, I'm a ceramic artist. Okay. And one day I'm sitting at the wheel and I'm saying, is this all there is? Is this what you want me to do? And really, I heard in my spirit that it was time to start sharing the process of going from a ball of clay to a work of art. And I did some of that in the journal that I put out there called Become Who You're Created to Be. But one of the big things when I got the tap on my shoulder for this series was to first start with gratitude because it's simple and really I heard someone say there's a Meister Eckhart is the person who said this quote, and I have to give him his flowers, if you will, for putting it out there. If the only prayer you ever say is thank you, it will be enough. So my advice to you to get started, anyone who's listening to this, who's thinking about writing something, begin with writing down what you're grateful for so that you can start exploring yourself from the heart space and figure out exactly what it is you were put here to do so you can make a difference in the world with those gifts and talents that have been gifted to you. That makes it easier.
I love it. And in entrepreneurship, you need to have passion because if you don't have passion, the chaotic world of entrepreneurship will push you out. If you're not into it, you're not going to be willing to take hundreds of thousands of no's, especially me, who started out trying to be a school speaker during COVID. The amount of rejections I took, eh, I mean, it was disheartening, of course. I mean, there was one list I had of 1,000 district superintendents, excuse me, of different districts in the states. The just even getting a reply back during COVID was hard enough. You have to be willing
Mhm.
to take the no's. You have to be willing to grow and have conversations like this with Teresa. Teresa, before I let you go, though, and find out your contact information. I know you're always full of advice. You're always very positive. You always have great advice to push people forward. Anyone out here who needs that extra push in the butt today, listening on, they're overwhelmed, they're stuck, they need some help. What can you tell them to keep going?
Oh, leave the fear at the door. Leave the fear at the door. You know, you just said something great with the no's, the number of no's that you took. Every no that you get brings you closer to the yes. And that may sound cliche, but eventually somebody's going to say yes. And that's what happened with you. That's what happened with me. When I decided to start a publishing company, it was on the advice of someone who I had been working with. And because I was doing it for other people, why not do it for myself? You know, I was organizing it for other people, why not for myself? So I guess the best thing I could tell you in order to get started with writing is to just start where you are, leave the fear at the door, and just pour your heart out on the pages. Even if you don't publish it, it's good practice in order to be able to stand in your authentic space and trust that you have your own path to travel. And if writing is part of it, I'm here to support and to help in any way possible that I can. And yeah, you talked about another book. The next book after this, the next one after
Yeah,
this
let's
is
talk about it.
okay. So it's called The Daily Gift of Kindness. So, my opinion is the three things that the world needs today in this crazy, insane world that we're living in, and that we were put here for such time as this, whatever that may be. I believe that the three things that we need today are gratitude, hope, and kindness in the world today. So, next book coming out, and I'm going to be publishing that on World Kindness Day, which is in November of next year. And you can find out all about it on dailygiftbookseries.com and go there, and all the details are there. I think that these three things put together will absolutely make a difference in the hearts of the people who read them and overall in the world. Because when you find something good, I feel it's your responsibility to share it with somebody else. And that's
Absolutely. I
very
can't
cool.
thank you enough for not only putting these books out there, for including me in these. It's been a lot of fun to put my stories in there, and be sure to support Teresa and all she does. Check out these books, whether it's a gift for you or a gift for someone else. It can play a great role in their lives. And I am at Vincent Day Lancy on all social media and YouTube. Be sure to head to YouTube and throw me a subscribe there for a lot of behind the scenes content here on That Entrepreneur Show. We're signing off today from Florida to Pennsylvania. Teresa, it's great to see you, and I'll see you again next week.
Always good to see you. See you next week.